Justin and Brittany were very close growing up. Although not your typical brother and sister relationship, they got along well and looked out for each other.
I can't think of a time that we ever fought. You know, we had a very good, strong relationship, very close.
Justin and Brittany's father was a college basketball player and carried on the tradition by teaching the game to both of them as soon as they were old enough to dribble. Brittany grew to love the game, and from then on it was always part of her life.
Used to play, you know, all the time. I would even take her with me to play at pickup games, you know, and they're like, what are you doing bringing a girl here? And she would end up showing them up, and they're like, okay, anytime you want to bring her back, that's fine.
Brittany and Justin would continue their close relationship throughout their high school years and into college, until one day Justin got a call that he never expected.
I remember that day I was really sick. I'd been in bed probably the whole day. I called my voicemail and I listened to the first message from my mother, you know, just, Justin, call me as soon as you get this. And the very next message was her as well, saying, you know, Justin, please give me a call as soon as you get this. It's about Brittany. And I had another call that was not from her. It was from one of my best high school friends. And I listened to the very first part of it. It said, you know, Justin, I just heard about what happened. I'm so sorry. And I hung up the phone because I didn't want to find out from him what had happened. So I called her, and she told me that, you know, Brittany was in a car accident. And I asked her, you know, is she okay? And of course she told me, you know, what had happened.
While driving back to college from visiting her parents, a terrible car accident claimed Brittany's life.
You use the word storm about this whole incident is so underrated. I can't even think of a word. I mean, I was literally plunged into just a whirlwind. I felt like everything was spinning, you know, especially for the first couple of days. Once everything sunk in, and we started to see how much good could actually come out of so much bad. I wanted it to be something powerful, something moving. As a matter of fact, there was a student that attended the service, and after the service was over, we found out he came to Christ just because having heard about Brittany's story. And to me, that just meant so much, because I know that that's not something we could have done on our own. It's something that God used for His good. The amount of peace that washed over my family and me at this time felt like a blanket of security that just fell over me and my family, and just covered us and comforted us. I think a lot of it helped to know that the last thing I had said to her was, I love you. And I know that she knew that as well. So there wasn't a lot of questioning of, you know, I wish I would have said this to her. I wish I would have told her how I felt. There was none of that. And I think our whole family can say that, you know. And a lot of that gives us a lot of peace, knowing that there wasn't anything left unsaid. There wasn't anything that we wish we could have changed. I've got no regrets of my relationship with her. If I had not been a part of this church, I can't imagine how this whole thing might have gone. I feel at home. I feel like I belong at this church. And the people every week prove that to me again and again. And it is so rewarding. It feels so good to be a part of a church that will come behind you in your time of need, and will really just be there when you think that no one else will.
I was sure by now that you would have reached out and wiped our my tears away, stepped in and saved the day. But once again, I say amen, and I'm still raining. And as the thunder rolls, I barely hear you whisper through the rain, I'm with you. And as your mercy falls, I raise my hands and praise the God who gives and takes away. And I'll praise you in this storm, and I will lift my hands, for you are who you are, no matter where I am. And every tear I've cried, you hold in your hand. You never left my side, and though my heart is torn, I will praise you in this storm. I remember when I stumbled in the wind, you heard my cry and you raised me up again. And my strength is almost gone, how can I carry on if I can't find you? And as the thunder rolls, I barely hear you whisper through the rain, I'm with you. And as your mercy falls, I raise my hands and praise the God who gives and takes away. And I'll praise you in this storm, and I will lift my hands, for you are who you are, no matter where I am. And every tear I've cried, you hold in your hand. You never left my side, though my heart is torn, I will praise you in the storm. I lift my eyes into the hills, where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. I lift my eyes unto the hills, where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And I'll praise you in this storm, and I will lift my hands, for you are who you are, no matter where I am. Every tear I've cried, you hold in your hand. You never left my side.